time for round 1. We are on the draw. We have quite a nice hand with a Grilled Signet and a Demonic Tutor. We should be fine for the early game. Better Skull, great turn 4 play. Never mulligan this hand, of course. Now it's just a question of what we are facing and how aggressive our opponent is, for example. This is the nice thing about Demonic Tutor. We can be sure that we can tutor into an Earthquake, or we can tutor into a Factor Fiction. It's just totally depends on what we are facing. Going to be conservative with the Swamp here. Don't want to get wastelanded immediately. And it looks like we're facing another control opponent. Yeah, he has a Signet as well. Let's hope there's no turn 3 Tezzeret coming across. It seems best to just play an island here and the Grilled Signet, giving us the option of playing Control Magic next turn. We can also Demonic Tutor for Ancient Grudge if that seems necessary. Can actually play it on curve, so that would be quite nice. Let's just hope it's not Tezzeret. No, it's Phyrexian Arena, which is also quite powerful. Alright, I would like to get the Ancient Grudge here with Demonic Tutor. We can play Better Skull on 5, and then we still have the Flashback, and we have the Control Magic. That seems better than getting a 6-drop with Demonic Tutor, because we can always get a 6-drop with Control Magic if our opponent plays one. And the Arena isn't a card that we can solve, so we have to kind of go a little bit on the offensive here, which is something I like doing anyway. So I'm going to get the mana for Ancient Grudge from there, so we're generating some pretty good value here. Already paying off. This could also Color Screw or Mana Screw our opponent. And then Better Skull and Mishra's Factory can start getting in there. Alright, a Recurring Nightmare as well. So this Control Magic might be even more important than we thought. Recurring Nightmare is one of the most powerful cards in the cube, in my opinion. The potential of just getting any creature back from your graveyard and then doing it again next turn allows for some very degenerate things. It's not too powerful right now though, so that's good. Looks like our opponent just doesn't do anything here. Could of course be a Cryptic Command, could just be a removal spell, we really don't know. But it does make me wary to cast to just activate the Mishra's Factory. If it's a bounce spell on Better Skull, we've activated the Factory, that's kind of bad. On the other hand, we just do Snapcaster Mage, so attacking with a Factory is more interesting, because we can always Snapcaster back a Demonic Tutor and get a 6-drop out of our deck. Kind of like that. Yeah, let's try that. There aren't too many cards that are really bad here. And dealing the additional damage is definitely worth quite a bit. Alright, that was easy. So now we can Snapcaster the Demonic. And I don't see a reason not to do that. Even Mana Drain isn't a big problem. Of course, it generates 2 mana, but there's definitely worse things that could happen. Looks like things are just... Oh. Yeah, no, that wasn't very smart. I just messed that up completely. Yeah, I wasn't thinking clearly. The Grilled Signet needs mana to activate to make the mana, and I needed 4 mana to flashback Demonic Tutor, and then I tapped in a way that I couldn't generate the mana for Demonic. So I'm down the best card in my deck, basically. let's hope that doesn't come back to bite us. I'm still feeling pretty good about the board. That's just a mistake that shouldn't happen. Meluku the Clouded Mirror, that's a good card. So, Bone Shredder is an option, but Recurring Nightmare is a problem. So, it feels best to just control Magic Meluku, and then there shouldn't be too many outs left. Oh, you know what? Why don't we tap this Gruul Signet once? I left it open in case the Snapcaster Mage was countered because I wanted the flashback mana on Ancient Grudge, but that was completely stupid because it made it impossible to cast the Demonic. So, yeah, just a big blunder. So if we take Meluku here, we can still attack with Mishra's Factory. Can't make too many 1/1s then, but okay, I have to get better at tapping. I can Mystical on upkeep. Which is still fine. Actually, Earthquake is just lethal, and well, our board is lethal too, of course. And the Arena kills the opponent right now. But who knows? Maybe an Upheaval. Don't know if that would actually be bad for us. It's certainly an out, though. It looks like Phantasmal Image is coming down. So that could just copy the Meluku, making... well, giving him his own Meluku, basically. Yeah, that resolves. Oh, Snapcaster Mage. Alright. Well, it didn't do anything else for me, so don't feel too bad about that. Kind of interesting how this board set is going to get solved by our opponent. Alright, ultimate prize after Snapcaster Mage has come into play. Let's make... oh, okay, so the Snapcaster Mage can get back Meluku with the help of Recurring Nightmare. It's actually a nice play. Don't know if it's not still lethal though. It's up to 3 blockers, spending the remaining 2 lands, but I have 4 attackers. And the Arena kills on upkeep. Okay, that's another way of doing it. I could Mystical here, but it does give quite a lot away, so I don't really want to do it. Don't want to show my opponent what's in my deck. But he can know about the Bone Shredder. That's okay. This is sorcery speed, so Recurring Nightmare isn't getting activated at instant speed. Alright. Yeah, my tapping of mana sources was absolutely atrocious this game. I'm sorry about that. The thing is that it's just so different from playing limited, which I normally do when I record. So yeah, just some very bad tapping there. All right, we did win, however. So now we have the option to go into the tank here with some sideboard cards, generate some mana, make our opponent discard, generate some value with Looter Ilkor, maybe just play Old Man of the Sea because it it takes control of Meloku, which could be quite sweet. Venser, if the opponent is up to some reanimation, maybe with that recurring nightmare. But it looked like we were just facing a pretty standard control mirror, so I'm going to board accordingly. We don't want the Abyss, and Pyroclasm seems kind of weak as well. Not even sure about Earthquake. It would have won us the game, being able to Mystical for it, but it's very weak against Meloku, and it didn't seem like it's a card that we need. Let's take it out. So we take out at least 3 cards that are only at their best against aggro, and that means we can take in some cards that are good against control or Meloku or both. So this, not too sure if this is what I want, but it might do a very good job of just getting rid of Meloku, for example, even if it's not in play. So I kind of like Void, kind of like Looter Ilcora as well. We could play Hypnotic Spectre as a way to counteract the card advantage gained by cards like Phyrexian Arena. On the other hand, the Spectre runs into Meloku or other flyers out of the blue-black deck, so maybe not the best idea. Memory Jar looks really spicy. Could actually be used to mill our opponent also. Is that a card that we really want in this kind of deck? Just doesn't seem like it's how this deck really wins or operates. I'm gonna play Looter Ilcor and Void for this control matchup. Let's see. I'm on the draw. Opponent keeps. This hand is quite bad. We have a 2-mana removal spell, and then only a 6-drop. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, this looks better. The disadvantage of having 1 card less is already mitigated by the fact that we have so many card advantage cards in this hand compared to the other. It's pretty unreal, in fact. So, in addition, might be able to start attacking with a factory. Might be a bit risky. Kind of depends here. Okay, Inquisition is a great draw, giving us perfect information. Alright, this is looking pretty good. Nahurod, when we have 1 Power Stone in hand, is miserable to play against. A turn 3 Phyrexian Arena is also miserable to play against. Trigma is powerful, but not a card I'm scared of. There's the potential to flashback the Inquisition, which is quite important, and the Intuition seems one of the weakest cards here. I don't think I can let the Arena resolve. I have to take it, and then maybe I have to play Snapcaster targeting Inquisition on Nullrod before I cast 1 Power Stone, but that's something for the future. Yeah, an insane hand on the opponent's side of the board, but a lot less scary without the Arena. I think that my opponent wants to cast Intuition here, and by flashbanging Inquisition, we get some extra intel. I have to suspect that the Intuition isn't too scary though. We can give the opponent the weakest card, and if it's not something absolutely crazy like Unburial Rites, okay, I think that's even better for us. We actually don't have to choose the Intuition now, but we can take anything else. And I'm still looking at that Null Rod because I really don't want to play against it. Alright, so this is clear now. This is a reanimation strategy. So we give our opponent the Inkwell because it's really clunky and difficult to cast, but any reanimation is going to be very problematic for us. At least we know. And hopefully we can put up some pressure before for this is actually relevant. Alright, so the hand is still the same. And the thing about Null Rod is that if it only trades with the Worn Power Stone, I'm not too concerned. We have 6 mana sources even without the stone. But the question is if taking an Agony Warp, or, well, that's basically it. If taking an Agony Warp, which should be really weak in this matchup, is better than to just take the Null Rod. Don't think it is. Null Rod is just a problem card that I don't want to face, so taking that. Planning to go next turn Solemn. Probably getting the Mountain because we have a second blue source already. And then we can follow up with a Power Stone and activating the Factory, or just starting to draw some other cards. Maybe a 6-drop, that would be perfect. Keep in mind that Solemn Simulacrum also draws a card when it dies. Alright, Shriekmaw is a good card on this board now. Killing Snapcaster Mage. No, okay. Now it's a lot worse, I think. Interesting decision to Agony Warp the Snapcaster Mage. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe I should have attacked beforehand, but I'm kind of happy about trading Snapcaster with Agony Warp this stage in the game. Opponent passing once again, and we aren't drawing much. Interesting, Shriekmaw in hand, but not worth it to cast it. Prefers to take 4 instead. And we are just sitting here with basically nothing, but the Solemn and the Factory are doing very good work. At some point we have to draw a spell. We are basically working with our starting hand still. Okay, the delayed Shriekmaw, probably not the best strategy in the world. Lunar Core is nice. I'm willing to trade the Factory for the Shriekmaw, as long as I get more damage in. I don't think that my deck is favored in the long game, especially against the reanimation strategy. So every single damage is going to count. This is the more natural block that we are seeing here, because it denies us the card for the moment. And the Factory is also usually a more problematic card than a Solemn. Maybe this game would have been better had we taken the Agony Warp, because we haven't used the Worn Power Stone at all. But the Snapcaster Mage would have gotten eaten by Shriekmaw, and then my opponent would have probably cast the Shriekmaw a turn earlier also. So overall, I'm quite happy with how things worked out. Alright, at this stage, the real question is, what are we still losing to? And the answers are probably Sheoldred and Grave Titan. That's maybe Meloku, but that doesn't seem unbeatable, especially not with an active looter and the Old Man of the Sea in our hand. I want to Demonic for Consecrated Sphinx here to really push my advantage. I'm gonna draw 2 cards for every single card that my opponent draws. And which is a little weak against mass removal, but we still get the additional cards, so it just seems super powerful here. Inferno Titan also means that we basically win the turn after. Maybe that's actually better. No, I want to draw some cards. See if that resolves. Looks like it. Now the fun starts. This effectively wins as well, so not too concerned. Time walk. Alright, we get to draw some more cards. It's a pretty sweet interaction. At this stage, not sure if we could beat a Shieldred. Shieldred is really, really good. Dimir Signet isn't too amazing. Not even sure if I need to Ancient Grudge the Dimir Signet. It seems kind of unnecessary. What do I even discard here? Old Man of the Sea? That's just a very good card to just have in play. I'm gonna discard Ancient Grudge. And if I need it, I can still Gruul Signet and flash it back. I'm also drawing towards Mystical Tutor to just win. Drawing some more cards. Thoughtseize and Control Magic. And that should do it. It's nice how my opponent draws a card effect each turn with Time Walk and Mindstone. And we just get to draw. Basically our whole deck without being in danger of any kind of brain freezes happening. I think that should be it. No. It's always Damnation. Alright, there's Meloku. But we already knew that we were taking control of it. So let's snatch that. Opponent activates Meloku once. Oh, okay, doesn't. Alright, great performance by the deck so far. See you next round.